Martin Ayisi studio. Our CEO of the Minerals Commission. Ma yeneno any enkomo time with the Minerals Commission. Here we are na area discussion segment no atwa so na ya champion jantwa atnase ye hwe nim se honorable Vondi beba and honorable Prince Hamid ama ono ye MP Kwesimentim and Deputy Minister Works and Housing eba be kan yen sanafe ye di enkomo ma me ni CEO en kasa CEO akwa ba net sen
Charlie things are okay.
Me share a financial statement to say how they are too many data out with a new echo 2024 small scale performance export values in dollar terms some really impressive figures. Share monthly average gold prices and so on. And I say a gold price now cost
too much
$2,455. Wow.
Too much. No good. Too much.
Yeah, per ounce. Wow. That's huge.
No good.
That's
no
really
no good. No Ghana.
No Ghana. Wow. And see that's a way for small scale export values. So we share January to July. Some $2.228 million US dollars. Is it million? Oh, billion. 2.228 billion.
Small scale back top last year for the first time in our history.
Yeah. Wow, those are because Osha to say a BT the whole of last year. Export values.
Started discussing you.
Wow. These are but for in this numbers where as a Ghanaian, why should I be concerned? I didn't know what's a family.
Obi first it should be we a half year performance.
Yes.
Wow, half year performance for the year.
For the year. That's for
for 2024 year.
Okay.
But before the Mamile Foundation, Bank of Ghana said everything I export year half year. That is only far from 1st January to 30th June. 1st January to
30th July.
30th June. The Mia na mid July.
Okay.
Because at least we are in August, so these figures are available.
Okay.
Everything that left this country was about 9.2 billion.
9.2 billion. Wow.
First half of this year. The whole of last year, our total exports was 13.6. It is a half year. If you are doing already 9.2, that means you can back room. And out of the 9.2, gold in 5 billion, a little over 5 billion. If you look at this figure,
yes.
I have given you a copy.
Yes.
So that means that 54%, at least 54% of
exports,
first 6 months of the year, every gold.
Gold.
And just more. Wow.
Yeah.
So Sika Bapa. Boissy the new rough, but you talk more. Now share figures now. Small scale inquiry 42%. First 6 months. If things continue like that, perhaps small scale will topple large scale for the first time in our history.
In terms of exports value.
Yes.
Small scale.
Everything. Wow. Because Usha figure Nupa, there's another table that where average prices. Wow.
Yeah.
Average prices
per ounce.
The whole of last year, the average price of gold was 1940. It was just April, December, penna. It was just 2,000.
Yeah.
The previous year, which was 2022, 1,800. But this year, share good. Look at where the price is.
2,400 plus.
Look at just this August. Until let me circle by be famous. I then sneak for money one talk one. I'm so there be me more mechi. But you see Obi, I have been on this program for how many years now? A year or two
almost.
Almost
2 years.
All the time, say, Monsieur, gold. In fact, even anybody who even bought gold, even last month, because the average price of gold in January was about 2030. Look at the average for. Where the person stayed there for a while. Wow, January average price
Sure.
$34 an ounce. February, March. Until the bull started running between April and June. April and June, pana in California Ska. Then August 2455. But that it is what it is.
Yeah.
Now Obi, small scale cry not a surprising meal. Who share values no pa you ask yourself, Charlie. Small scale inquiry to match Chikro way. Apart from the look at this table.
Okay.
Then I'll tell you what the issue is because I know Ghanaians say over Bob Williams or Anna say we'll come to that. So look at January, February, March, April, May. So Obi, June, just 1 month.
Yeah.
Just 1 month.
Yeah.
Small scale, 496. So almost
million.
$500 million 1 month. Month back up from small scale mining. Just 1 month. Almost $500 million.
And when illegal small scale
These
mining.
are official receipts.
Okay.
Official records. Okay. Meanwhile, I've been telling you that 2-3 times of this is smuggled.
Sure.
Or tax on your tissue pet. You can imagine how much money we'll get. So we are in an interesting time.
Wow.
Then I saw the figures for Bank of Ghana last year. The whole of last year, almost year total S was 13.6 billion. The whole of last year, our export was 13.6 billion. Minerals alone was 7.8 billion. And our gold out of the 7.8 was 7.6.
Wow.
The year before, 2022, was 6.6. Now,
half year.
Yes, last year, the mining companies returned $4.2 billion back to this country. I say Uncle Fosso Sikani Nyako. Last year, 2023. Okay? The mining companies returned $4.2 billion back into this country, either through Bank of Ghana or the commercial banks. I'll explain how the money comes in. It is if Bank of Ghana is telling you that your exports receipt the whole of last year is about 13.6 now, that means that a third of your receipts is backed by gold. Okay, and how does the money come in? One, Bank of Ghana and companies no more in share. There is some quantity of dollars via companies in many Bank of Ghana. Every company, mining company, with the dollar no one more cedis. That's number one. Almost no surrender. Okay. And 2023, it was $784 million. Then apart from surrender, no, any mining company that wants to give out dollars, Bank of Ghana, right of first refusal, first priority, someone better. Last year, $760 million. Until the surrender, need forest no count about 1.5 billion. It is out of the 4.2 billion or more returning here. Then the Bank of Ghana has 3 arrangements. The surrender vary from company to company. Then if you want to offload your forest, they have to buy it. Okay? Then the third one is a gold for domestic gold purchase program. Into 2022, almost just about 40-something thousand ounces. Then last year they bought almost 400 something. Wow. So we have a lot of reserves now, and that's what is backing our currency. So when the vice president came to say during the commission of that gold refining, said, Charlie, in fact gold in Chucky how far the figures now who figures he knows what he's talking about. Do you understand? And then electricity alone last year the companies paid $274 million. Okay, so my main using it. So you see, I've not come to half year on me lay foundation because you have to compare. So cool anymore now, you don't leave a 2,000 CD job to go and take $1,000 job, unless you want to say that the 1,000 were we MD or MD actually or okay. So $1.6 billion direct receipts to government, royalties, taxes, payee, then they spent $2.5 billion on purchases and supplies.
Okay.
Then they spent $274 million on electricity.
Where the last year large scale
last
mining
year,
companies.
last year gold year 7.6 billion. Already half your money 5 billion. Until this year, the way the price is going, ever crosses 10 billion.
They will spend more.
So you can imagine the amount. And I look at fuel alone. Next week I'll go into details in terms of the spending and all.
The spending in there.
When I heard people say, "Oh, billions we are in the car," these are some of the things. Wow. So if government got 1.6 billion last year in basically 4 key areas: royalties, corporate income tax by far, which is the largest, and then PE and other withholding tax and all those. And you can imagine this year.
But a lawyer friend says, Obi, please avert your mind
to what?
To difference in exchange rate between same period last year and this year. Reading regarding the financials of the minerals export, the difference in exchange rate will tell whether there is actual growth or nominal growth. Also compare gold prices for the same period year on year, then compare total minerals in terms of value.
So all the papers are before you. So for example, last year the average price of gold was $1,940. Okay. And then production was 4.1 million ounces. Okay. 2022 was 1,800. Do you understand that? So we are yet all those calculations or percentage change and all those figures.
Yeah.
So we can easily tell. That is it. And
for you don't think that the depreciation of the cedi against the dollar
no, but
any
everything is in dollars. Everything is in dollars. It doesn't make any difference. Real terms, it doesn't make any difference. Okay, because production is also going up. So, for example, what are the benefits of the high prices? You get more money. Well, companies this year they will enter into the corporate income group because you see they have a lot of money now, so they can clear some of their debt and all those things. Then they can free up additional funding for exploration, geological investigation, so that they extend life of their mine. It's very, very, very well. We have done all those analyses. Our research department, so there are more receipts. Oh, I can see where he's coming from. So, for example, if this year you get $10 billion, for example, maybe in real terms last year, but everything is sold in dollars. Everything is sold in dollars. So if you, and even production can fall, but you make more money. So if you, let's say you produce 1 million ounces in a particular period, and the price was, let's say, 2,000, and you produce 800,000 ounces, maybe there's a drop of 200. You can even make more money on the 800 than the 1 million. If in a particular, the average price was, let's say, 1,800 as against 2,500. Enterprise is a very key determinant. I had all those analysis, percentage change, and the calculations and all those things. But it's the goal that is.
The other question will be saying, yes, I mean the numbers look good on paper.
They look too good, not just good, too good.
Okay, let me use your descriptors. And the numbers look too good on paper, but at what cost?
At what cost? Yes, I know people talk about the water body that looks like Milo. I know people also talk about it. At least I've cleared that funny impression. It's coming outside.
Which is good.
In fact, that's why I even keep saying, the ones that go outside are to pay for machinery and equipment, and also to pay the loans. So it means that if you're able to raise more money locally, like Asante Gold did, and we start manufacturing inputs here.
Asante Gold BBNE,
they raised $180 million in Ghana here. Now, because the more you do that, then you stop relying on them. That's what it means. All the other ones that took a loan, it will go back. Okay, so if you can raise the money here locally through SNIT, again, my special SNIT, more musika, MIF and all those things, who will take the money outside? Okay, so that's okay. Say one session, I itemize 5 key areas. If we get right, then we can hit our chest like South Africa or Australia and Canada. So mining a chichi crew. So first, it is never true that mining has not benefited this country. We've been benefiting from mining. It's mining that is holding this economy. Trust me. But I'm the first also to admit that over several hundred years of mining, you know, this is not where we should be because I made it clear to you, say, since 1916, First World War time, you know, we have been exporting manganese raw. 180 years in system. And he said, Ombesi refining $450 million. So it tells you that getting there like South Africa, getting there like Australia now, value addition is key. So the manganese one, for example, is a typical example. Yeah. The second overkaya, I told you that we need to raise the money locally. How do you do it? Several methods. You go to MIF, Oscar, like the investment in Atlantic region. They have equity in Asante. You go to stock exchange. Then all these institutions that are running tier 3, tier 4, so maybe did it that time. I think you were not working for a while. Omahini was here. I told them that look, those who are buying gold, they should buy gold because my prediction was right. And Unim, the things that are driving the price of gold, it is still there, big time. So, their price will collapse anytime soon. And I can sum up on that. Next week, we'll talk about what cost. Because I know this special arrangement with Dr. Mpoma. One, many central banks are buying gold across the globe. Aggressive buying by central banks. Currencies. Of course. Now, gold was special characteristics which all the other minerals don't have. I mean, gold is currency, nothing else. There's a lot of aggressive buying by central banks across the globe. That's one. Okay. 2, geopolitics. You see, anytime there's risks, okay, so this Ukraine thing, Middle East thing that is creating problems will be a slow. So you run to safety. Wow, that's one. That's another point. Then, of course, another key issue is interest rate and the performance of U.S. economy and the dollar. Anytime the dollar is strong, the price of gold comes down because everything is priced in dollars. And now, when interest rates also drop here, then U.S. securities and co. And everybody runs to gold. Now there was this recent prediction and announcement said beginning September thereabout, U.S. Federal Reserve Bank will cut interest rate. It is so good for gold. So that means that you don't make U.S. securities, bonds and things will not give you that much because the interest rate is low.
In the prediction,
you rush into gold.
Okay, per your prediction, not just the price of gold per ounce, no, Emba form. At least for in the now, short to medium term.
Yes, Emba form. Even yet on average 2-3, like we did in the second quarter. I mean, we are good to go.
And it will still be over 2,000.
So it should tell you that if cocoa had performed, Anka, by now, bye to IMF. If we had sustained the 1 million ounces.
Tons. That's for cocoa.
Sorry, 1 million tons. Sorry, 1 million tons. You go into BBI ounces. You're sustaining 1 million tons nanka. That time now good. Sorry, price of cocoa called 10,000. I think I call crab 12. Wow. We could have made, even if we use an average of 6,000-7,000 for the year. $1 million will give you about 7 billion. To Nyabe 12-13 billion from gold. That's about 20 billion alone from 2 minerals. Sorry, 2 key sectors, cocoa and gold. Massive. You show up your currency, you build your reserves and all that. I mean, look at the reserves of Bank of Ghana now in gold. Wow. So, idea way, it means that yes, started we were buying gold about 10 years ago. That time now, price 1,000 to 800. Uncle, we don't need IMF. Because then you'll be having like maybe $20 billion reserves in gold. The kind of thing Botswana has been doing. They are pull out from diamonds. Wow, but they said who said no, we've gotten it right. So we have to keep buying the gold. We have to. I mean, just imagine if SNIT has taken that Akukudo to spend like ABR, even $10 million worth of pension for a CD equivalent. Wow, almost last year December or even January. Wow, let me show average price of gold. It was 2034 in January. So assuming SNIT took CD equivalent of $5 million and bought gold in January, and they are selling now 7 months on. That's a lot of money. Because recently, I stand to be corrected, unless the papers misquoted him. He says what? The Director General, they are paying more than money is coming, and one of the front page or whatever. So there are so many years they can invest in. Why? Because some of the investment they have made, may can't be because the Mayfair,
Yeah.
Well, and this year milk will get more money because royalties will go up. Okay, the higher the price, the more money the companies make and more royalties. Until this year, don't be surprised, royalties will be $400 million. Wow, as compared to last year that they didn't even make 300. So you have to invest in all these things. You take some of our money, teachers' money, pensions fund, and all those things, good, and hold it. It's not coming down now. At least even if it stays at the current price, it's fine.
It's fine. Yeah.
Okay, show up in the currency and all those things. Can you imagine? In for starting my pressure, to royalties, increase royalties, increase corporate tax, let the companies pay more. It doesn't work that way because there are companies who are producing good at $2,000 an ounce. Who couldn't produce last year? Yeah. Look at the impact now. It's a company be producing an ounce because you see the grade is not the same. The quantity of gold in the rock or no, and yet the same. Because I know a company that is producing gold at an ounce 2,000. Yeah. It means that last year they couldn't ramp up production. Yeah. But now with the price hovering on the average 2,400, 2,500, I mean they're okay.
Sure.
On the average, when you have $300 or so on an ounce, they can keep the jobs, supplies will flow, community issues will be addressed, etc. Even we 1,000 to into almost discount rough. Let me speak the street language. Rough. Okay? So when you get up and say, okay, let them pay royalty 7% now, you're going to kill the one that is doing 2,000.
Yeah.
But in fact, they do baby there. I'm the first to tell government say 2. Because a do price be out to me say, wait dear. They say as we traffic Accra as a nation. So for example, if it goes to like 2,007, 2,800, oh baby, I don't know even the ones that have low grade, Charlie.
I will say
say tum kakrebi.
And I think
we can say, okay, let's raise it. Then when it comes down to a certain level, you go back to normal. I mean, if good price should reach 3,000, we should keep the current system. No. Wow, that one you can say it will be a royalty 7%, but a back to 2.5. You come back to your 5%. Yeah. You can have that arrangement.
I heard this morning, sir, when Anglo Gold Ashanti SI resume operations or they've created a community development trust fund. I don't know if you are.
Oh, what did that? I mean, will be.
No. Apparently not any hope. They were doing CSR, normal CSR. But they've created a fund that for every ounce they dedicate $2.
Yeah, we are even coming to change it because we are the only country in Africa that has not made it lawful. Into regulation. 1% profit. And you know some of the companies. And then for every dollar, for every ounce they sell, they put aside $1.
Yeah, wasn't I hear it's $2.
Yeah, but still, it's 1%. You know my meeting. You be 1% revenue. This is the Atlantic Lithium. Some mampon calculation. Say my sister on no free mampon. If you say for every ounce you sell, you put aside $1. Let's use the average price of 2,500 today. Okay, trading around that. But
yeah.
So an ounce is 2,500. You put aside $1, and then you say 1% of profit. What if you don't declare profit? But if you say 1% of revenue, that's a lot of money
for the community.
1% of look. Some companies will do 1 million ounces this year. Until we use an average price of $2,300 an ounce. That's about what? 2.3 billion. Let's settle on 2 billion. You want to buy 2 billion this year.
1% of that will
1%
be
of $2 million.
No.
1% of 2 billion. That's about 20 million.
$20 million. Yeah.
Compare that to 1% profit. Because in 2 billion, all the expenses.
Yeah.
Wow. If you declare profit, about 300 million. That's 1% of that. And then he says for every ounce he says they sell, they put aside $1. Into $2,500, you put aside $1. How? Until we are going to do the Tanzania and Burkina Faso way.
Yeah, I think when you look at it from
yes, our research in India because Tanzania 1%. And Anglo Gold Ashanti get my almost 1%.
1% on revenue.
Yes. Burkina Faso 1.
And $2 per ounce.
Accra voluntary.
Yeah, voluntary.
The sad aspect is that it's also tax deductible.
Yeah.
So they can trust a half of foundation in here. You bet 1%.
1% revenue.
Oh, yeah.
Because Anka, Obuasi say $20 million. That's a lot of money.
Almost 290,000 ounces. Wow. Well, there are 200,000 for an average price of 2,000. And the mines are making money. Some if their mines say they are not making money, I'm sure data. No. They're making money. But it's good for Ghana because it means that next week we will go into more details.
Yeah.
If I look at how much is spent on procurement and supplies and services
locally,
first 6 months, now me to compare the whole of last year, say yes, you will chrome
very well.
Wow, me share company before supply say wow, and that is why who the financer who to government the whole of last year 1.6 billion in taxes, and then you are spending 2.5 billion on local content, and now. Those who don't have the data, just look at the taxes government is getting. Well, into Okohun ABR, 2.2 billion this year in taxes to government. And then he sees the 10 billion receipts now. Oh, government only got 2 billion. Meanwhile, local content, local content crowdfunding in number 4 or 5 billion. So, what did we do? We preserve a whole lot of areas for
local companies.
Wow, you didn't look at the fact that last year, for example, electricity alone, mining companies paid $274 million. Only taxes electricity. Do you know the taxes in fuel? All the lubricants, car fuel, almost about $500 million. Only taxes wow. So when so the issue. The areas you have to look at is local content. In addition to value additional, then of course almighty small scale. In Tiana, still metiti say in Kofoso, young good small scale say, hey, you people name person will be back as me and 90% because the doctor just left here and can make us say on Kononko and Zamil. Hey, but in Sono dear, Massa and
we have to do more.
Until we are encouraging.
Next week, we'll buy a back.
Oh, yeah, we're encouraging them.
Mate.
Mate.
That's
it. Sika Kakao, Konakoto good. Bramema license. Me person call galam say.
Legal small scale.
Proper small scale mining. No tax. That is it. Now Obi only be says Obi are sort of a so call mining.
Now the Oki can say, what my kono
may can't be if I will be catching me so met me a man at Tony Hunyamania. And I said there was a lot of ignorance.
People didn't
know. I mean, look at it 1.6 billion to government in taxes and 2.5 billion on supplies. Now one month in Kwa almost $500 million small scale, just 1 month. Wow. Until you now see young good small scale now. Takwa ni obebo wasum. Obi ofi takwa dia so ni prestia.
Legal small scale.
Bi odebe show no one hwe ya. Ubenya asem. Because uko takwa sisia. If you go to Takwa, the market there from 6 a.m. I don't know when they start trading. It is only Mokola by 4 a.m. Ghana in Comfort View store. From 6 a.m. to the last person who closed his shop in Takwa, or about 90% or 99% of the money there that came to buy anything in Takwa, say mattress, say mine sika.
Not Takwa alone.
Oh, Kasana, Kasatia mine space ana. What's up for no? Almost sure.
It's true.
Obi of it dear so. Nyana downfall. Now, unim campaign all the parties. Unim Obi Mamika some sure. Next, ABA may change. NDC for launch on manifesto. Ni CPP for so we are CPP. I'm launch on manifesto. You better but already the Amahunu. Look, let me tell you. I heard the vice president. I heard him saying, "Say every year I won't buy $10 million for geological survey." Oh, then that is it. We can end the meeting for today for geological investigation. So that means Omati. That's what he said when they were launching the road. He said every year they will put aside $10 million. $10 million. Me crap now me for say bia or become 5 or see $10 million every year on the geological survey. Then geological survey will take that money to explore all these blockade areas Minerals Commission has designated, so that in the medium to long term, we can get areas for the small scale to mine.
Yeah.
So that means that metro and all those stations say the main solution to the Galamsey menace, among others, is geological investigation. And then I also heard him saying, "Ombeti tax,
Yeah, tax for
the withholding tax
from 1.5 to 1%.
royalties. Wow. So it means that all these good policies, the government has accepted them.
Very well.
If we had listened 30 years ago, we would not be where we are. But you see, in power, but there's nothing that. Oh, yeah. I mean, you teach you 180 years, the manganese called raw. Yahoo say, refine. Yeah, we should accept it.
Young cross on the street.
30 years ago, 180 years, that manganese called raw. So, but government about so now CPP someone to me. You can refine
they say
Molly school meet you.
But in CPP and Kawuni freedom to go to school. Yen ye jigan CEO. They say go to Jom now swan him. I know why you cratch you.
No person call Galamsey.
Galamsey.
Now we already legal small scale mining.
So all the
license.
For legal small scale
for
mining.
proper one.
Yeah.
Before I walk out so that my sister will take over.
Yeah.
Let me say my last words. And yes, I'm Kokumi. Normally, I say your last prayers. Remember, I am confused. Galamsey
with small scale.
With small scale, sure.
There are thousands of Ghanaians who have licenses and they are doing small scale lawfully.
Yeah.
They monitor them.
Yeah.
It is all Kasa Yambani small scale pena omubuefu.
Yeah.
And I have been saying this all along. The fact that your sister is a prostitute doesn't mean that the other one should not be married. And now where you're going to, you marry from a certain tribe or home, so nobody should go there.
Yeah.
So, because a lot of people, Galamsey, almost small scale mining. You have the properly sanctioned lawful one, license, both underground
and surface.
Yeah. Because baby said we have lawful small scale underground mining. Nipano needs to bring. Now, Takwa, do you think the small scale there is surface? Over how many underground?
Underground, sure.
Wow. Any old Galamsey, illegal mining. Only krata.
Yeah. And away.
Don't let us mix the two.
Just some education.
Wow, inti usoy na osi yem bani small scale mining. You are not talking properly.
Yeah.
But I am the first to admit to the 35 million Ghanaians say the Milo look-alike Pra and Tano is not something any normal human being should accept.
Encourage.
I accept the anger, I accept the outrage. Yeah, tutu nyema ye so enter gold catcher. Yeah, teacher momo. And yes, sir, the alternative to gold catcher is deaf to 35 million Ghanaians because of OTC or can heavy metals.
Yeah.
Ni
I
don't know where your banshee came from. Ghana is gold, gold is Ghana. It's our DNA. So we catch him say we mine till death. Madam.
Yeah, that's it.